Kingdom people, they are distraught because you moved on. There are people who cannot handle the fact that you have moved on, and they're really distraught over it. And so, Kingdom people, these are people who just thought you would never move on. And one of the reasons why is because they were complacent where you're concerned. See, when you're in certain people's lives for some time, they get comfortable. And unfortunately, some of these people, they begin to mishandle you or mistreat you or take you for granted and just think you're going to always be there. And what happens, Kingdom people, is oftentimes you look past a lot of things. You give grace, you show mercy, you have patience, and you tolerate a lot. And so they think that because you've tolerated so much, you're going to continue to. So sometimes, unfortunately, they up the ante, so to speak, whether it's conscious or unconscious. And many times also, Kingdom people, you begin to see things in them that are just not good fruit. Although you've seen it before, it seems like it either gets worse, or you know that they should be growing from that. They should be maturing. They should be developing. And so when they continue in the same cycle, what can happen is, because you're moving forward, you're growing, you're elevating, and you're moving forward in the things of God, moving forward in your calling and your purpose, then they can be a hindrance to you. Furthermore, as you're moving forward, they may even begin to lash out at you or just be doing things to try to bring you down or pull you back, because they see that you're moving forward. They see that you're growing, maturing. And people like this oftentimes don't want to see you leave them, so to speak, because that's how they see it. They want you there with them. They want it to be the way it always been. But the issue with that is that we are here to grow. We are here to prosper. We're here to move forward. We're here to develop and mature. And everybody is not doing that, or we're all doing it at different paces. And sometimes we just it's time for us, or it can be time for certain people to step into what God is calling them to. And it can make others uncomfortable around you. And so even though sometimes people may be growing themselves, where they go wrong at is trying to keep you where you are. When you're growing, you're moving forward. And, some will call it you're outgrowing them, and possibly, or God is just moving you in a different place. And we have to be okay with what God is doing in each other's lives, and, wish them well, and appreciate the time that we had with each other. But unfortunately, some people just don't do that. The enemy, of course, is at play behind that, but it's up to us to not let the enemy play on us. It's our responsibility to not let the enemy hijack us. And so there are other people, Kingdom people, who, well, maybe even the same or similar people or in this group too, that because they not doing the growing, they're not doing the development, they don't want you to. So when they see you finna, in their mind, outshine them, they will comfort you. And that will make you have to move around them. But the thing here is that they never thought that you would leave, and so they're distraught because you actually left, because you moved on. And when I say moved on, I all actually mean you not tripping, you over it, you're not checking for them, you in a whole nother, I'm hearing dimension, you in a whole nother place in your life. You're not even focused on what has happened. You went through your process, whatever you had to do, even if you had to heal, maybe you had to grieve some things, and you move forward because you're looking at what's in front of you. And I'm just reminded so strongly of how we put those things that are behind us and look forward. We look towards the call of Christ. And so I'm kind of paraphrasing that scripture. But the point is and this was Paul speaking, and he said putting those things behind us. So many a times, kind of people, we have to put things behind us. Yeah, it was what it was. We had the memories, but you come to a place where you don't even focus on those memories anymore, because you have something in front of you that God is taking you to. You have a new life that God is moving you into, because it's the life that He prepared for you. It's the life that He's calling you to, because it's kingdom business that you're moving towards. And yeah, everything that you experienced already contribute to helping you develop, and it trains you, it matures you even. And so you not got to move forth. And so you're not looking back. You're not hung up on what has happened. You moved on, quite literally, so much so that you're not looking back. See, many of these people thought that what you were going through was just some kind of phase, that you was just upset for the moment, or you just whatever, and they thought that you would get over it and you would be back around. And perhaps you've done that before, but this time, kingdom people, if you did do that before, even if you hadn't, this is new. You're walking into your new life. Scriptures say, I will do a new thing. Do you not perceive it? And you're moving into your new thing. So those things that were before, you're not repeating those cycles. You're not trying to go back to any of those things, because you understand God is putting you in a new place. And so again, some people just didn't expect you to really move on. Many people were waiting on you. People being their man, waiting on you to come back. Some of them are even crazy enough to tell people, oh, she'll be back. Oh, they'll be back. Some people crazier enough to tell people, oh, they gonna need me. They gonna need us. Not understanding that your walk is with God. God is leading you and guiding you, and God is all you ever need. God would never lead you and guide you and pull you out of something and walk you towards where He's taking you, for you to have to need people that are hindrances to you, people that think like that. God, you would never need people that think you're gonna need them when you're moving in what God called you to. You would never need those people, ever. Trust me, they want you to need them. And understand, these people are not operating in the Spirit of God. They're in their flesh. And if we go a step further, we can say they're, operating they have unclean spirits, and they're operating in demonic, they have demonic spirits. Those are demons that are ruling them, that are operating through them. And so, yeah, again, you would never need anyone that God called you away from. It just don't happen like that. You're following God's lead. You need God. And when God is your source, you will never need anyone that wants you to need them, or feel like you're going to need them, or won't, feel like, have that kind of attitude. And so, in that respect, they are distraught, because you actually moved on, and you're absolutely not looking back. It's not even a thought in your mind, because you're in a whole new life, and you don't even want what's back there. Part of what we do, again, is grow, what we should be doing. And you're doing that. So you don't grow. Nobody, no child grows up from, the womb. They be birthed, from the embryo to that fetus, to, growing and maturing, be birthed from their mother's womb. They're an infant. They grow up, some, they become a toddler. They grow up some more. They become a little, I don't know what the little people above the toddlers are called, but let's go with adolescent. And then let's go with teenager, young adult, and so forth and so on. The point is, you don't get to be a teenager and then say, let me go back to being an infant. You can't do that, because you're not supposed to. You're supposed to continue to grow and develop. And so it is with you, kingdom people. And that's the way it should be with all of us. And I'm speaking in terms also spiritually, mentally, emotionally, all that. And so what they ultimately want you to do is stop your growth and go backwards to infantry, wherever you were when you were with them. Maybe you were in young adulthood or spiritualityhood or whatever the case may be. But you get what I'm saying, kingdom people? They be waiting on you to come back, which means they don't want you to grow and move forth. And that could be precisely part of why you have to remove yourself from them, because you have identified that within them. You saw those spirits in them that were trying to hinder you. And usually when that happens, it's because they're not doing the growing and developing, maturing that they're supposed to be doing. And I am speaking spiritually, mentally, emotionally, so forth and so on. And so, kingdom people, they are distraught because you actually really did move on. You really moved on, and they were not expecting you to do that. Kingdom people, they are distraught because you moved on.